Welcome to this special edition of Belief Busters, in which we look at the masks and the roles that men have bought into, believing that that's who they must be. I'm hoping by the end of this series, you have given yourself permission to change those beliefs, to challenge those false beliefs, and step into the power of who you are truly meant to be. Thank you for joining us on Belief Busters. We have been doing this amazing series on the masculine masks, the roles that men believe that they have to adhere to. And throughout this series, we've really been able to break down those myths and allow men to claim themselves in a new and profound way. And today I've invited Reverend Jim Mullis to be with us to talk about those stereotypes about men and aging. Welcome, Jim.
Delighted. And you're in the Pacific Northwest, and I'm in the Alabama Gulf Coast.
Yes.
And we're sitting here right next to each other on the screen. So,
Jim, would you tell us a little bit about you? What's your passion? What do you do in the world?
I've been through a lot of different. I've got a lot of road behind me. Let's put it that way. I've done a lot of things in my life. Right now, I'm one of the co-founders of Unity Church of Gulf Shores, along with my wife Donna, Reverend Donna, and we are a New Thought progressive Christian church in a politically conservative, religiously fundamental neighborhood area that's 95% white in our town and probably 90% white in our county. So we came expecting to have a diverse congregation. That was our point. And we wanted to do it for people who didn't want to go to church. So we meet in a restaurant bar. And
cool.
It's cool. Well, you know, you've been there.
I have. It is cool.
And now we're trapped in front of a iPhone, live streaming our services on Facebook, and it's a completely different world. It's a completely different world. So I got here in a lot of different ways. I grew up in a white slum in South Georgia, outdoor plumbing, one faucet coming into the house, cold water.
Wow.
Everybody worked in the cotton mill, and the wives worked in some of the sewing factories. And the people in town were otherized. Strange in my life, I'm not sure about my community's life, but in my life, there were so few Black people available that they weren't otherized. I mean, they were just other as opposed to otherized. And I'm fortunate. Now, maybe that's just because I'm naive and don't see, and I wear the blinders and I just walk through life going, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. But it's worked so far. And yeah, it allowed me to be a lot of different places and treat everybody as equals. And as Donna would say, your mama raised you right. She would probably say, I raised you right too.
Nice.
So, you know, like I said, I was a management consultant for a lot of years. I was in human resources. I saw a lot of good things done, a lot of not so good things done, and saw a lot of greed. I designed programs to make people wealthy, and I've seen what greed can do to motivate people. People tend to go where the money is, and I was a part of that system for a long time. Became an independent consultant. The world changed. I hit 50, and the world changed dramatically. Before my 50th birthday, I was getting 3 to 5 phone calls a month from executive recruiters. After I hit 50, I got one every 3 months. And then they were looking for me to give them to somebody else. So the world changed.
The reason that I invited you to be on the show with us is because I love the way that you approach life. When I watch you, I don't see how old you are chronologically. I know that you're older, but I see this person that has this zest for life. And of course we can. Why can't we? I think we could, there's just this joy for life. And so what I wanted you to do is really talk about what were your indoctrinated ideas about a man getting older, so like what were those beliefs, and then kind of take the journey of how did you become this amazing light that you are right now. So why don't we start off with what were your indoctrinated beliefs about getting old as a man?
When I was growing up, the people who were in their 40s and 50s, and the few that made it into their 60s, the men were, first, they worked in cotton mills, so they had the white lung issue. They were skinny, they were beat up, they were, in many cases, they were frail. And then they got in their 60s, and many of them ended up with lung cancer, died. My dad died at 62 from a combination of a number of things. He was at Normandy Beach, the Battle of the Bulge, and after the war, self-medicated, had issues with alcohol, was not kind to his body. At 62, he was an old man. He was trapped in his chair. He was not vital. And he didn't like not being vital. There were parts of his life that weren't there anymore, and he just gave up. The grandfather that I look almost exactly like him, died at 53 from a stroke.
Holy cow.
So when I hit 53, I thought I was going to die.
Wow.
Because I looked like him. I expected to go like him. I didn't. I had to figure out the rest of my life because I didn't know I was going to have that rest of my life.
Wow.
And one day at a time, literally it's one day at a time. And I've realized now that my body has some limitations. For a long time, I never admitted that. And I am occasionally now doing things and asking other people to do things for me that before that I would, try to pick the refrigerator up and carry it.
Is that all?
Yeah. But in terms of slowing down, no. Does it take me longer to recover if I do too much? Yeah. But it took me longer to recover when I was 40 than it did when I was 20.
Yeah.
And so we learned those. But life does not end when you start drawing Social Security.
What process do you think that you went through when you said like you were 52, 53, and you realized, holy cow, I still have like this whole life that I can live? What was your process in really saying that the belief that you held before was no longer valid? It was a myth.
Even before that had happened, my ex-wife's brother had died at 36.
Oh my gosh.
I started running because I did not want that to happen to me. And I ran until my feet died. I ran until I had both feet operated on.
Okay.
And that gave me a healthy heart and kept me reasonably fit for a lot of years. I did that for over 25 years. I ran 1,000 miles a year. So I was essentially run around the earth. One
Holy moly.
chunk at a time. I've always been a reader. I've always been intellectually curious. And I think that's probably the real part of it. I haven't become cobwebs inside my head, inside my heart, inside my body. It's still active. And the last 12 years, I've been married to a woman who lives life out loud.
Yes, she does. You've got to keep up, my friend.
And she keeps me young. And I try and keep her young. An active, vital life. Some of our Sunday morning broadcasts get out to 2,500 people. So we're doing something right.
Yes, you are.
We do our best to support our local community. We are on the board of the Christian Service Center, we support them financially from our church donations. We were already LGBTQ allies, predominantly because of Donna's theater background. She had many, many friends who died of AIDS. And we have a transgender female to male grandson. And And any residual that's not right that I might have had before went away, because it's just Jay. Jay didn't choose anything. Jay accepted things, and Jay accepted who Jay was. That's some groups that we really are active in. Black Lives Matter, the George Floyd thing hit us hard. I became aware a long time ago that this world would be a different place if it weren't for people like Dr. King. So also having had served in Vietnam, having had consulting clients from Hong Kong to Paris, and from Penobscot Bay to Miami in the U.S., also got me out of my South Georgia box.
Yep.
And also out of my Southern box.
But what I'm hearing is that you have this passion for getting involved, for helping those who are less fortunate, for seeing how you can bring your gifts to any situation to elevate people.
That's what I saw as a consultant. When I look back on it, I didn't enjoy the technical aspects of what I did. I did enjoy helping the people who were dealing with business issues. And as is many times the case, when they would call in a consultant, the issues on the table were not the issues that were on the table. The issues on the table were the ones they weren't talking about. And many times I helped them with that. Everybody needs somebody to listen to. Robert Brummett said it well. As you know, he's one of our instructors. He said, everybody needs a good listening to. Yes. And I'm a firm believer in that. Everybody. And I try and spend a large part of my life listening to people rather than talking.
What I hear is that your joy for life, you've got a woman that you have to keep up with, Rev Donna Mullis, not to be denied. No. You are forever learning and curious and inquisitive. You have this passion to help and elevate situations and people. So to me, what I'm hearing that keeps you young and alive and vivacious is diving into life. So what would you suggest for our listeners who have bought into the concept that they're past a certain age, they're past prime, and life is kind of just fizzle at this point? What would you suggest?
Don't stop. Keep moving. Keep moving mentally, keep moving physically, keep moving emotionally, keep moving spiritually. Just don't stop. If you stop, you'll stop on all four. You'll stop on all four of those wheels. So don't stop. Try and tell people you're a child of God. You have a spark of divinity in you. Rely on it, lean on it, and look for it in other people.
So if anyone wanted to work with you or have a conversation with you, can you tell us a little bit about what you do in that aspect and how they can get in contact with you?
In seminary, I planned on having an active veterans ministry because of where I came from.
Right.
They can call the church, they can email the church, or they can email me at reverendjim@mullisconsult.com, and I will get back in touch with them. Or they can contact you and you'll stick them on me.
I can do that. Absolutely. Yes. Jim has this amazing balance of being in the trenches, literally, and then the heart of the divine. And he has this ability to really be able to hear you beyond your words, to get to the emotion and core of who you are. So if you are a veteran and you feel like you really would like to reach out to somebody who gets it, this is your guy, Jim Mullis. Reverend Jim Mullis, it is such a pleasure and honor to have you on this program. And for our followers, I'll see you on the flip side.
Okay. Bye-bye. Ta-ta till later.
Ta-ta till later. Thank you for joining us on Belief Busters. I hope this episode gives you permission to change your beliefs about yourself, about the world, and others. You can reach me at beliefbusterspodcast.org. Also, I've written a book, Turning Your Why into Why Not, which gives you practical steps and solutions to looking at your belief systems, to honoring them, and those that no longer serve you, giving you ways and creating new ones, allowing you to thrive. I'll see you on the flip side.